Welcome back to Central Valley Talk. We are live as usual, sort of a pre-COVID or post-COVID or currently in COVID version of our program. We don't have any guests here today, and we usually have them lined up out the door, but it's just safer, so much safer to have our guests stay where they are, use what technology they have, and we bring them in so we can keep you up to date on what's going on. We celebrate what's good about Fresno and Clovis and Madera and Reedley, and that's what we're going to do today. We have as our special guest Dr. Parnell, who is the Chancellor of my alma mater, Fresno City College. No, the whole district. You have City College, Madera, Clovis, Reedley, of course. It's quite a big district now.
It is a big district, and by the way, when you mentioned Madera, they are the 116th community college, been recognized by the Accrediting Association. The Board of Governors for California will vote officially, but I don't see any roadblocks since they've been accredited. They will be the 116th community college in the state of California.
Wow.
And their president that we've just hired this last year, Angel Reyna, is a great example of what can happen, how a person can progress. Angel family immigrated from Mexico. He grew up, as he tells me, picking asparagus from the time he was a little kid till he was 7, then decided education might be a better route. He's our new president.
Better than picking asparagus any day, that's for sure. Now, what was the first community college? Was it not Fresno?
You're exactly right. So we've got the latest, and Fresno City College, your alma mater, was the very first community college in the state of California. And so we are proud to have that kind of heritage here among our colleges. Reedley is the largest farm community college with over 400 acres. And Clovis used to be one of the newest as the 114th community college. And they are the leading transfer institution percentage-wise of students going into four-year programs in the state of California.
Now, that's incredible record for Clovis. Are there still Cal grants?
Yes. Yeah. There are a lot of opportunities. Matter of fact, not only Cal grants, but right now, with the CARES funding and with a recent lawsuit that we engaged in and the state of California did, we've gotten legal relief to award about $16 million through our colleges out to our students in grants. So now's the time to get into your college, fill out your financial aid FAFSA form, and get some of that money to help you on your way.
Well, I often give this advice to young people who have no idea what they want to do. First, I tell them, well, that's what I was when I was 18, 19, 20. It's never too late, but just go park yourself over at one of these community colleges. First, they give you a little money, to get by, and it's a really good place to go find yourself. You can take different kinds of classes and figure out where you want to end up, and it's just a tremendous opportunity. So kids who don't know where to go, instead of just going nowhere, I said get to the community college and enroll and just hang out there. You'll find something. It took me 4 years to get through, and it's the best thing I ever did.
Can I tell you a little story about one of my staff members?
Sure.
Her name is Christine McTerry, and I don't think she'll mind me telling this story. She told it to me, and I've told it publicly several times. She was at Fresno City College, like you. She currently is my vice chancellor for operations, in charge of our $485 million bond building that we're continuing in the middle of all these crises, by the way, and we'll be building some great buildings. But Christine was in a class, I believe it was a biology class, and the instructor said, for whatever reason, said, Christine, you're really good in math. Have you ever thought about being an engineer? And she said, you mean like on a train? And Christine is now a civil engineer, and she is the vice chancellor at our district. But she got that, just like you, someone, you might be in a course that's not related, and an instructor or someone in the class says, you know what, Mike, you got a gift in talking, in journalism, and go and do it. And that's Christine's story, and we have literally thousands of those stories. So yes, you're exactly right. Let's tell everyone that we can. Go to your local community college, sign up for some classes, and engage and find your pathway.
Yeah, you don't have to know when you start. I changed mine 6 times, I'm sure, 6 different majors, and enjoyed going through those and discovering them and finding them out. Now, I wanted to talk to you today about what's going on, because there's a lot going on. I guess we can start with COVID, if it's okay. What's going to happen to the semester, the fall semester?
We in fall semester, we're going to have made the decision that we're going to be primarily online. All of our college presidents, by the way, have decided to not have fall sports. Now, our teams will still get together with their coaches. They'll practice social distancing. They'll work out. They'll use good hygiene. But we won't have public football games. We won't have basketball games in November. Okay. So we won't have any sports for fall. So that's one of the big impacts of COVID. And we're doing that. We're not bringing back all of our staff and faculty. We'll be providing our courses predominantly online, 90% online. Now, we do have to have some face-to-face, our nursing program, our radiological technology program, our welding program, our police and our fire programs. You can't do those trainings and get certified without being face-to-face. Yeah. So we will have about less than 10% of our courses will be face-to-face, and we'll practice social distancing, good hygiene. We'll take all those precautions to protect not only our students, but our staff and our faculty.
Wow. So I imagine I got my last master's degree online, and the technology wasn't as good as it is now. I bet it's really good technology for students to take online courses.
Well, as I was mentioning, most of our students come from disadvantaged, low-income families, and yet our tuition rate is only $46 a credit unit. But you're right. So coming from disadvantaged families, we have been really focused on trying to upgrade the technology skills for our students. We've been handing out laptops and iPads and trying to encourage people, giving training sessions. We've also had to upskill our faculty. A lot of them have been chalkboard, face-to-face faculty, do a terrific job. And now they've had to, and we've been providing training for them. And I'm really proud of our faculty and staff. They've stepped up. We're doing things remotely. That's maybe a side benefit of the whole COVID, is that people are upgrading their technological skills, and the courses then are going to correspondingly be of the highest caliber possible for our students.
Yeah. Well, State Center Community College has always been excellent, and the teachers are excellent, and you produce excellent students with excellent skills, and we appreciate that. But, it's just a worrisome time, and I hope the students will get in there. I encourage them to go and try out these courses, get in there, get online, and I'm sure you have a whole support structure to help people who have trouble with that. There's a lot of other things going on in the world right now, like the Black Lives Matters, and it's kind of a crisis within a crisis.
You're absolutely right. The COVID-19 has exacerbated and brought to light, sadly enough, the great disparity for our African American students. And frankly, they have not been succeeding at the rates they need to succeed at. We're involved. There's a whole initiative that former Mayor Ashley Swearingen has led with the Central Valley Community Foundation called the Thrive Initiative, developing a regional, inclusive, vibrant economy. And right in the center of that is inclusive. And that's what we're trying to be part of, is really focusing. So I've got some, all of my presidents and all of our colleges are focused on this, but we're going to even pay more attention. We're going to be self-reflective. We want to look at ourselves closely, take the log out of our own eye before we take the mote out of our neighbor's eye, to get a little biblical, and say, let's look at ourselves, and whatever we're doing that hasn't been succeeding, how can we change that? And we need all of our community partners to join in with us. Our first approach is going to be having a listening session, and I want to feature our African American faculty, staff, and administrators, and I want to hear from them. I want to hear their stories. I've heard a lot of them, and until you hear that, I don't think you have the same empathy, and I don't want to just hear it. I want that to lead us to action, that's going to change the results for our African American students.
Well, yeah, the other day we had a guest, Dr. Kim Wildy, and he said just what you're saying. He says, first you have to acknowledge that you haven't been doing well enough, and that's kind of the first thing you said, and then start listening, and it sounds like you're taking a good path and acknowledging that there's an issue there. We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Now, I, used to be in the state legislature, and what I dealt with 24 hours a day was budget, budget, budget. I'm glad I'm not there now because I don't know, there's just so much money going out. This is going to have to affect the community colleges.
Well, it already has. Right now, the governor assigned the budget, and we have been fiscally very conservative. We are committed, I'm committed to not reducing anyone's salary, to not increasing, but not reducing, not laying off any staff or faculty. Now, I've frozen a lot of positions, and the whole purpose behind that is because this budget is billions of dollars, I believe 14 billion, dependent for the education system in California, dependent on getting money from the federal government.
Oh boy.
Now, if that comes through, then we'll still be flat. We'll still have challenges. Literally, there are millions of people out of work. This is why it's a great time to come to your community college. Get that under your belt until the jobs start coming back.
Right.
I mean, we've just had the order come from the governor where they've closed down all the dining and bars and so on. And those are a lot of jobs for a lot of our students, how they're paying the rent and buying the food. And so we're suffering, but we're gonna keep our flat budget. Now, one of the things in the budget is this concept called deferrals, which the state says you got to pay for it on your own right now, but we promise you in 2 months we'll make it up to you. So literally, we have to have the cash, which is millions of dollars every month, that we have to pay our bills and take care of our students. So we are saving cash right now. We'll keep our reserves, and I'm glad that we've done that in the years when we had the plenty, where we were more profitable, because we need that. We need those cash reserves now when we're not going to get paid by the state. So we'll go through a series of deferrals. Unfortunately, the predictions are next year's budget may not be as flat as this year. So it's a serious time. We are paying close attention to that, and it's been caused a lot by the COVID-19.
Yeah, so your job, you got these three giant crises, and it goes down. You have college presidents and faculty and students that you're trying to make sure everybody's taken care of. It's a big, big job. When should students start signing up for the fall? Is it too early?
No, you can register right now for fall, and I would encourage people to go online. Go to www.sccccd.edu. All 4 colleges will be there. You can sign up online. You can pay online. You can get your courses. You can get your books online. And if you need to come to a class that's face to face, you'll find out about that online.
Okay. Now, SCCCD, State Center Community College District.edu. And
yes.
Would that lead them to the FAFSA?
There'll be some places where they can go from there, yes.
I've noticed I typed FAFSA.com or something, and it took me to a bad site that looked a lot like FAFSA. So maybe you could go to the State Center site and find FAFSA, but it's so important people fill that out, isn't it?
Yes, that's a key to getting your financial aid. If you fill out the FAFSA form, then that makes you eligible. And in there, you report what your family income is, and so it is essential.
Yeah.
And we want everyone to get all the money that they can, CARES funding, whatever is available, CalWorks funding, financial aid, grants, loans. We're intent on making college affordable. Yeah. And this is part of the DRIVE initiative. One of the subcommittees of the DRIVE initiative is called the K-16 Collaborative, and they've just received a significant grant to do exactly that. So there's another source of funding for students.
Yeah, and I want to say that as a former student, fill out the FAFSA. Even if you think your parents make too much money or something, fill it out, because I thought my parents made too much money, and I ended up paying for my own college. And looking back, I could have got all these grants and loans and stuff. Would have made my life a lot easier. So fill out FAFSA. Go to the State Center Community College District and start registering for classes. It's not too early. And it's a great place to be, a great place to be involved in. I launched everything there. I got 4 college degrees, 2 master's degrees, and I all started at City College. I went to the state legislature and had just a wonderful life, and I thank City College for it. If they hadn't put up with me and encouraged me and let me fail a class here and there and keep going, I wouldn't have got where I did. So it's a really nice place
Now,
for...
Mike, on that distinguished resume, I want to see Fresno City College highlighted.
I do. I
up
put it
there.
right on my resume. So. Anyway, we're out of time, Dr. Parnell. By the way, it's Dr. Paul Parnell. He's the Chancellor of State Center Community College District, and the website's sccd.edu. Before we're out of time, you have anything else to add, Dr. Parnell?
No, this is a wonderful business to be in. I love seeing people change their lives through education. That's what we're all about, is empowering our citizens with education. And we're going to continue to pursue that as long as we can, do as much good as we can for as long as we can. And Mike, I appreciate your own story, and I appreciate you having us on today.
Anytime. We love the whole system, and we will be back with more Central Valley Talk right after this.